Hi, gorgeous tribe. I had promised to do a video on fasting over full moon and how you can prepare your body to fast beautifully during the full moon. And so that's what I'm doing right now. So the full moon is coming up in the next couple of days. And so I wanted you just to have this video in advance so that if you wanted to choose to do a fast, I highly promote it over full moon purely because we have parasites and bacteria and viruses and all sorts of pathogens in our body. We have little worms in our body. And what happens over full moon is the eggs of the parasites and the worms hatch over full moon. And so it creates more pathogens in our system. And so we want to calm the body down. We don't want any adrenaline running through the body because the adrenaline feeds the bacteria by up to 10,000%. And so we want to calm the body. And we don't want the eggs to hatch and we don't want to feed them over full moon. So that the minute they start their life, we're ending it. Because an overload of pathogens causes lots of disease in our system. And we do not want more pathogens. We do have good bacteria and bad bacteria, and we do want a balance of those. We don't want an overload. And every full moon, there's an opportunity in our body to get overloaded with pathogens because everything is hatching and there's just more of them. So what we do is a 3-day water fast so that specifically over full moon, we are not eating. We are not eating, we're not feeding them. Foods that feed pathogens is refined sugars, it's grains, it's dairies, and it's eggs. So even if you are, and you've never done a fast before, what I would suggest is for these 3 days, you refrain from dairy, grains, refined sugar, and eggs for those 3 days. That would be the first thing. If you've never ever done a fast before, I would just say, right, over full moon, over those 3 days, I choose right now my health over the food. So I'm choosing not to have those foods so that I can actually make sure that my body gets stronger. So what happens during our body during these 72 hours of fasting? So the first 10 hours, as you have stopped the food intake, this is if you're water fasting, if you've stopped the food intake, the first 10 hours, your body moves into a state called autophagy. Autophagy is getting rid of old dead cells. So our body starts removing old dead cells at a rapid rate from hour 10 of not eating. It actually accelerates all the way to 72 hours. So the longer that we don't eat, the more dead cells our body can actually release. At hour 20, our body moves into a strengthening of stem cells. So we get a strengthening of our immune stem cells, our digestive stem cells, our musculoskeletal stem cells. All the stem cells that do the repair work and do the healing, they get strengthened from 20 hours with no food onwards. That also accelerates up to 72 hours, and then it hits a bit of a plateau. So that's why I love 72 hours, because everything is accelerated up until those 72 hours. So then at hour 30, that's when our body goes into major fat burning mode. So for those people that do intermittent fasting and wonder why they're not actually releasing any weight, it's because they never hit hour 30. Because intermittent fasting is only 16 to 18 hours, whereas we need to move into hour 30 to really accelerate ketosis, to really accelerate fat burning mode, and to really make sure that our body is releasing the toxins out of the fat cells so that the fat can be released as well. So all of those things really start, so hour 10, hour 20, hour 30, they really start hyping up, and they continue to rise to hour 72. And then at 72, most of them hit a plateau, and some of them actually even dip off. So maximum is 72. The longer that you fast, there is huge benefits to all of that, because I truly feel that everybody overeats. We really do overeat. But as long as you are doing 3 days of a full moon, it really is the best fast to do ever, by the way, ever. And I have researched many fasts. I have gone to specialists who have specialized in fasting. I have done so much research. The best fast that you can do is 3 days, once a month, over full moon. It's the best time for your body to respond to everything. So what we want to do to prepare for it, if possible, reduce your refined sugars in advance. because we don't want to feel the effects of a detox whilst we're fasting. There is those people that fast regularly, they always come back and comment and say to me, I have more energy. I don't get sleepy or lethargic. I actually can still exercise whilst I'm fasting, and I really feel amazing. And that's what we want. But we get there if our bodies are prepared beforehand, which means no refined sugars. So if you have been eating refined sugars in your diet, I would recommend that you rather go reduce the refined sugars over this time and prepare for your fast next full moon. So ideally what we want is we want at least a week before you fasting to be on really clean living food. No processed foods, no junk foods, no refined sugar foods, no foods that come in boxes and tins, but living food into your living body. So fruits and veggies and good wholesome proteins are really awesome to have a week before you fast. So if you can so natural sugars in the fruit are fine. I just want to reiterate that they are fine. They are not going to allow you to go into detox. But refined sugars really, really make the headaches come out, make you feel terrible, make you feel lethargic when you do a water fast. So if you have been eating refined sugars, rather reduce the fast, or rather just reduce the foods that you are eating over these 3 days. If you decide your body is good and you've been living on fruits and veggies and good proteins for the last week, 2 weeks, a month beforehand, you're going to be in a really good state for your body to move into the fast. What I normally do is I like moving into the fast after my dinner. Everybody is different, but the minute I finish my dinner, so the minute you finish your last meal, you start counting. You start counting the 72 hours from that minute onwards. So if I finish eating at 6:30, 7 o'clock at night, then by 7 o'clock the next morning, I've already done 12 hours. I've done 12 hours already. 7 o'clock that night, 24 hours is done. And then by the next night, you've done 48 hours. It actually goes really quickly. It really goes quickly. And so your third day is your 72 hours. Be gentle when you break the fast. I cannot reiterate this enough because I've made the mistake myself. Be gentle. When you are breaking the fast, break it with a very small meal for another 3 days. I would do small meals for 3 days after a 3-day water fast. Because some people, once they've fasted and then all of a sudden they get exposed to food again, they pile up on the food and then they've put back everything that they've taken off for the last 3 days. We don't really want that. So when you break your fast, be gentle on your body. Realize your body hasn't had food in it for 3 days and your body doesn't need that much food. So rather have small meals, rather have small snacky meals for at least 3 days after your fast to gradually build up to your normal meals, or you can stay with small meals because we actually truly, I find we eat far too much. We should rather be eating where we feel satisfied and not full and bloated. If we're feeling full and bloated, you've had too much. Your body cannot digest all that food and it's bloating in your gut. And often, if it's too much food, it actually starts to rot. And so we want to alleviate those feelings and we want smaller meals so that the digestive organs can digest through them easily and simply. So we just want to feel satisfied after our meals. So what happened the one fast that I did, I broke my 72 hours and I had a smoothie, which we call the Alka-Jaza smoothie, which alkalines our body. And it's all green stuff. So it was cucumber, it was celery, it was avocado, and it was spinach. Nice, brilliant. You think it's really healthy for your body, except I had 750 mils of it. And I had it too quickly. And so I hadn't eaten for 3 days. And all of a sudden I had this huge amount of Alka-Jaza smoothie and I felt dreadful for 2 days. I felt like I had a food coma for 2 days. My stomach was not well at all. It was like there was an overload of food too fast in the system too quickly. And so it's too much. It's too much. So we need to be gentle, really, really gentle. So 250 mils of an Alka-Jaza smoothie, a small salad. I have also broken my fast with a piece of meat because I found that at sometimes my body craves the protein. And so a small piece of meat, I'm satisfied. I don't need meats and veggies and this and that and everything together. You really don't need to break fast like that. Small meals is actually really, really awesome for you. Really awesome to break the fast. So we go into the fast gently. We prepare the body for the fast and we break the fast gently. That is really, really recommended. Now, during the fast, I drink 5 liters of my delicious water. 5 liters of delicious water during my fast. When I feel, and it normally happens on day 2, I feel big grumbling in my tummy, really big grumbling. The stomach loves warm water, warm water. So I find the grumbling, that real deep grumbling is actually my tummy readjusting to its normal size. If you think that your stomach is the size of your fist, and how many meals do you eat that are bigger than your fist? So your stomach is always enlarged, always enlarged, always enlarged. When you're fasting, there's an opportunity for your stomach to go back to its normal size. And that's actually the grumbling. The grumbling is happening because the stomach is moving back to its normal size. So it really is moving back to, shrinking back to what it should be. And it doesn't want more food. It actually just wants to be that size. So the minute you put warm water in, it satisfies it. It satisfies it. The grumbling goes away. The grumbling absolutely goes away. And to be honest with you, I get quite excited about feeling hungry. I think, oh, this is a brilliant feeling. My stomach goes really nice and flat, and I feel so energetic. And honestly, when I'm fasting, it's the best time for me to do all the handyman jobs around the house because I've got so much extra energy. It's like, what else can I do? What else can I do? What else can I do? So I find that having enough hydration, having enough water, satisfying the grumbles is absolutely perfect. Absolutely perfect. If you find that you are feeling a little bit dizzy, that you're feeling a little bit nausea, that you are feeling a little bit lightheaded, Himalayan salt under the tongue. Himalayan salt full of minerals, and your body needs minerals at that time, full of minerals under the tongue, and it really does satisfy the dizziness or the nausea or anything else that you're feeling. I also, I move into ketosis really, really quickly. And one of the symptoms of ketosis is an accelerated heartbeat. And I tend to get that when I'm exercising too much and fasting. So yeah, the one time I was out doing my stand-up paddling out in the ocean, and I'd gone out quite far and my heart started beating. I thought, I should head back to shore now, because when you get that accelerated heartbeat, it is a sign to say, just rest, because in the resting, your body can heal more. So if you feel like you are tired whilst you're fasting, or you do have an accelerated heartbeat, it is your body saying, just rest. So if you have an opportunity just to slow yourself down, it's brilliant. Remember, we don't want to stress ourselves whilst we're fasting, because we don't want any adrenaline pumping through our system, feeding the pathogens. Because when the pathogens are hatching and coming alive, we don't want anything feeding them. Nothing feeding them, no adrenaline feeding them, and no food feeding them. So the best thing to do is to plan over full moon, nothing stressful, so that you can rest, so that you can heal, so that you can really feel incredible after your 3 days, really incredible. So Himalayan salt, I always have very, very handy if I feel my body moving into anything where I am a little bit lethargic or a little bit of dizziness. But honestly, that probably happened in my very first time I fasted. It's never happened again, because I have enough delicious water. I have 5 liters of delicious water, and that is hugely satisfying. Another question that a lot of people ask me is, can I have herbal teas? So herbal teas do not include green tea. Green tea, most green teas have caffeine in it. We don't want any caffeine, no caffeine in the body at all. Herbal teas are pure herbal teas. So chamomile tea, peppermint tea, jasmine tea, any organic, rooibos, of course, rooibos is my favorite tea. So any of those where it's just the actual tea leaves, dandelion root, absolutely amazing for your liver, by the way. And so whilst your body is going through some detoxing, it's really, really good for you. So any of the organic teas, perfect, because the body loves the warm water and it sees those herbs as healing as well. So you can hydrate with water and herbal teas. If you put anything in the water, like slices of cucumber, slices of lemon, mint leaves, blueberries, strawberries, anything like that in the water to flavor the water, perfect. You can do that. Just don't eat the fruit as well. So in summertime, I love to flavor my water, and then I end up eating that fruit as well. But when you're doing a water fast, as long as it's just water going in. So when it comes to the full moon, it changes at times of when it is full during the day. So I try and do my 3-day water fast, my middle day being the full moon day. So the day before I start the fast, then the day of full moon is I'm in the middle of my fast, and then I break my fast on the day after the full moon. So that's how I try and plan it, so that you are maximizing the day of the full moon. That would be really, really beneficial, hugely beneficial. So yeah, so you start counting the minute you finish eating. On that, I do the night before. You can do the morning. And then by the time you get to that night, it's your 12 hours gone. I just like the idea of I go to sleep, I wake up, and I'm already like so far in my fast. It's just a feel good. So if there are any other questions, please put them below this video. I will absolutely answer them. But I am a massive advocate for full moon water fasting for 3 days. It's the best fast you can do. It's helping your body. It's energizing your body. It is killing off the pathogens, not allowing them to survive. And it is just a beautiful time for you to move into healing. So have fun. Go for it. You will survive. You'll absolutely survive. You'll absolutely thrive, by the way. You'll thrive. I have found that people that have released weight over full moon, sometimes 50% of what they release comes back, but most times you can actually keep off if you need to release the weight. If you don't need to release the weight, I've been at my goal weight for the last, I would say, 5 years now. And so every time I do full moon, if there is a weight that I release within the next couple of days, I'm back in balance. So even if you've got no weight to release and you're at your goal weight, it's still healthy to do a fast. It really is still healthy to do a fast. So don't worry about the weight, worry about how you're feeling and what is actually healing and what you're allowing your body time to heal. So have a brilliant fast, go for it, and I will see you on the other side of the fast. Cool, cheers, bye.